Turn to page 15 in your packet for Unit 3. This is 3.4 slope-intercept form, which you'll see the notes right here at the top. In blue, those represent solutions, right? Ordered pairs that are on the line of the graph. The slope, as we know, is m, so that gets put right there. And the b, don't ask me why it's b. I have no idea why it's b, but it represents the y-intercept, right? That's where the line of the graph crosses the y-axis. Now, also that positive b, right, how it's plus b, if it's a positive y-intercept, it's going to be a plus the y-intercept. If it's a negative y-intercept, then it's minus the y-intercept. Okay, so just go ahead and copy this down. If you need to pause it, go ahead and pause it. I'm going to go on to problem number 1. So problem number 1 says, given the slope and the y-intercept, that means I'm giving you the slope and y-intercept, write the equation in slope-intercept form. So here's my slope, so I know this is my m. And then here's my b, my y-intercept. And I know my formula is y equals mx plus b. So I'm literally going to substitute that information in where I see the m and where I see the b. And in this case, the b is -1. So it's not going to be a plus -1. You can write that. Or you can simplify and write y equals 2x minus 1. So the simplified way is to write it this way. And you do that each time for any of the equations, just for any of these, right? Because you're given the slope and y-intercept. Let's look at number 7. This is going to be y equals, I'm going to write the formula for slope-intercept form right here. So it's easily accessible and I just see it visually of where everything goes. Here's my slope. So that goes in for m. So it's 4/5 and then x, right? My slope is always attached to the x because it's being multiplied. And then my b is a -15. So I subtract 15. There's nothing for me to calculate here. I'm just plugging it into the formula so I know how to write it. Sometimes instead of giving you the slope and y-intercept, I might give you a graph and say, well, okay, tell me the slope, tell me the y-intercept, and then write the equation. So we know how to count slope. What we're going to do is count from one point to another. I'm going to highlight a couple of other points that are also here that you could use. So remember, since it's rise over run, I'm going to go to this point to this point. I count up 1, 2, 3, so it's a +3, and I go to the right 1, so it's a +1. So for my slope, I get a 3/1, or you can just write 3. Now for my y-intercept, I'm looking for where it crosses the x-axis. Well, if, I'm going to highlight this in pink, if this is my line for the graph, and this is my y-axis, I see that right here is where it crosses. So I'm going to circle that. This is where it crosses. Well, that number is a -1, right? That point is 0, -1. So my y-intercept is a -1. I would write my equation y equals 3x minus 1. And there you go. You wrote your equation. Let's try. You can try number 10 on your own. We're going to try number 11. I'm going to highlight the line just so you could see it a little bit better. It's right here. Oh, hey, this looks like a horizontal line, which means, oh, just from the special cases, it's a hoy. So my slope I know is 0 because my O right here tells me that it's going to be a 0. Oh, let's rewrite that because that kind of looks like a 6. Let's make it a proper 0. There we go. And then my y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. In this case, that is a -3. All special cases, remember, we use the letter that's in there. It's y. So it's going to be y equals wherever it crosses the y-axis, which is -3. Don't forget, even your special cases, no matter what format I ask for it in, that's how you would write it. So you are going to practice with the following pages to be able to do it. I do want to look at number 8 though, because number 8 on page 16, you'll notice there are no points. So what you're looking for is to see where this line hits perfectly on our graph. So you'll notice it happens here, here, here. It's consistent, right? So if I count the slopes, I'll be able to calculate it. But you want to see where it hits perfectly. It's like right there, it hits perfectly. So those would be our points. Go ahead and continue with your practice.